Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Newnham College. I know this isn't the chronological order as I had initially intended, but because of a special request I thought let me do Newnham College first. Newnham College was founded approximately 150 years ago, and it is one of the only two female colleges within Cambridge University, the other current college being Murray Edwards College. Now, before we get into the detail, I just wanted to mention one thing, which is that Newnham College honestly has some of the most beautiful gardens within the whole of Cambridge University, within all of the colleges. The only college, in my opinion, that may surpass it is probably Selwyn College. The architecture is beautiful as well. It's a mix between some old architecture, as you guys can see on the screen, as well as some new builds, such as the Dorothy Garrett earlier, which currently isn't on the screen. In the winter, the place looks phenomenal, and there is a room called the Princess Room, which has 3 balconies, and from there you can see the whole gardens. Absolutely phenomenal. But honestly speaking, that room is nothing more than a gimmick, mainly because it's part of the old buildings, which is so you don't have your own toilets, shared toilets. So if you're not on that, then that gimmick isn't worth it. You get to see a good view few days a year, but you have to share your toilets with every other person for the rest of the year. It just ain't worth it. Now, on to the actual college itself. A lot of students actually do show up to Newnham College, although it's girls only, mainly because they have this thing called the Iris Cafe, which it's open to the public, and a lot of people can show up. Some colleges, they are a bit more restrictive in who can show up to their own cafes, sorry. But Newnham is one of the colleges where you can show up from the outside and sit down. There are a few reserved seats for Newnham students, but that's about it. This man behind me is called Henry Sidgwick, and one of the buildings, accommodations of Newnham, is named after him, because he was actually really fundamental in the starting of Newnham College. So he's a philosopher and an economist, and he risked a lot in order to make the college what it is. At that time, there were actually no positions for females. But he did, if I remember correctly, he rented out one of his own houses for students to show up to, and for female students to show up to and then attend lectures, same as male students. Behind me is Millicent Fawcett, who had a massive hand again in starting the college and then looking after the college in its early years. Honestly, there is a lot of detail to go into and we just don't have much time, so I'm going to end this video really shortly by just going over 2 of my favorite people from the college. This person behind me is Constance Tipper. She studied natural sciences at Newnham College, and during World War II, if I remember correctly, she had a massive hand. She played a massive part in figuring out how German ships were being sank. And her work on ductile brittle fracture is amongst the best in the world and was revolutionary at the time. So anyone who studies engineering, number 1, in the material section, will be studying her tests. But number 2, the biggest lecture theatre in the whole of the engineering department is named after her now. Initially it was called Lecture Theatre Zero, now it's called the Constance Tipper Lecture Hall, as a nod to her and her achievements and accomplishments in this field. This other person behind me, her name is Joanne Clark, and she had a massive part in breaking the Enigma code alongside Alan Turing, who studied at King's College, Cambridge University. And because of her efforts, the war came to an end. She worked alongside some of the most brilliant people in the day, and bear in mind this was at a time where women's roles were just looked down upon. So again, another amazing person, and I would recommend you watch The Imitation Game. Obviously, it's not exactly 100% accurate, but you can understand just the impact she had and the part she played within saving the world at the time of World War II. I know this video has run on, so I'm going to end it here. But honestly, look into the history of Newnham College. Absolutely beautiful. At the time it was being founded, there was one other college, which at the time was only for females, but now it's mixed. It was called Girton College. So there is an amazing history behind it. And again, 150 years for just a single college. Bear in mind, most universities are not even 150 years old. So this is amazing within the UK. So take care, guys, and inshallah I'll catch you in another video. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.